microphone. All right.
Listen to me.
That's more better.
Right now, I don't get you.
Okay.
I mean, I
It's a
hear
good.
you. It's just low.
I
Welcome, welcome,
talk.
welcome.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not registering. Like it's registering, but it's not registering loud. I could be
I think
louder.
I can
I'd
get you.
rather not. I'm trying to be more quiet.
I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I think we're good. Hola, Tannerinos.
Wow.
Wake up. Ba-da-ba. Wake up, man,
So good.
Francisco. I just came up with that.
All right. Now it sounds creepy. Wake up, man, Francisco.
mm.
All right.
First words of the day. Gotta make him good. What's happening?
Sunday morning, um, and in true 40-year-old fashion, I wake up and I check my phone and I go, there was a big sporting event yesterday. I wanted to sleep more though, so I didn't watch the sporting event and I just went to sleep. And then you wake up and you check the score. Um, I do that certainly more and more. Like in my youth, there was no. If I'm in my 20s, there's no way I'm choosing sleep over really any activity. Um, if anyone has anything happening, I'm staying up for it. Certainly if I'm in
I assume you're
company.
talking about Final Four. Is that
Yeah. Yeah.
okay?
So why don't we cue the music and before because we know I'm gonna go on some sort of really long tangent. So we should do the theme song to.
Welcome to Old Guys Talking About Old Guy Things. And
Yes. I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen. Age of convenience. My daddy worked hard for this.
hello, 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 hello.
Hi.
I did the
All
same
right.
last night. I had to work yesterday on the Saturday. Got home at 5, and I was like, I'm tired from life. I'm just gonna start in bed when I get home, and then I'll get up and you know do activities
I'm gonna
after a
let
couple
the
hours,
I'm
and
gonna
then
let the rest situation figure
yeah,
itself out and let me know how much little Saturday I
hmm
have left.
I'm gonna watch a shitty movie, which I did. Trap. I don't know if you saw it.
I've
I
seen
got
the.
scared as soon as I saw written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I did not realize that that was a part of the program. I was
Oh,
like, oh no.
I didn't realize that was a Shyamalan movie. Well, I'm
They
gonna
don't even
watch it.
advertise it. They're not trying to, they don't want anybody to know that. They at least
Oh
want you to hit
yeah,
play.
this is one of his. This is one of his. Hey, it's okay if you don't know that it's me.
hmm
Um, he's he is a. I will say, M Night Shyamalan might be. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. He might be the most. I attest he is. This is a hot take. He is the most like you either love him or you think he's useless as a director. Like people know the name M Night Shyamalan, but it's not all for positive, and it's not all for. It's harder to know a director for all negative because then you just wouldn't know him. But M Night Shyamalan, I would say, is very hit or miss depending on the person. Would you say
Well,
you're an M Night Shyamalan fan?
well, obviously the Sixth Sense was like the big one. Signs, whatever.
Oh,
A lot of people liked it, even though it had like flaws. Like all of his movies, yeah, they're very divisive. But I would say more people don't like it. I feel like he
I
makes
agree.
movies that he wrote down the premise for in his middle school notebook, but he hasn't changed since then. He's just gotten older, like and he just goes with it. So it either works or it doesn't. Like this one was very. This one didn't even really have a hook. I'm not even going to spoil it, but it's Josh Hartnett. I don't remember if you saw the previews, but He brings the daughter to like the equivalent of like a Taylor Swift concert, which is
Right.
also bizarre because cast in the quote unquote Taylor Swift role is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. So it's really just the whole movie to promote her music, I think. And of course,
Oh,
he's
is it
in it.
actually her
He's always got
music?
to make. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. And
And they're
you
looking for a
use
serial killer. And it's him, obviously. And he's got to try to figure out a way to get out of the arena because the whole thing was designed as a trap to catch him. Um, it's just more of a thriller in a way, but so many plot holes as you gotta love from M Night. It's part of it. So um, I don't know. That's what you watch when you come home and you get right into bed and you
I
might fall asleep. That's what you put on.
I enjoy M Night Shyamalan as a whole. I think his good projects are so good that I'm okay with watching M Night Shyamalan's. And yeah, you're not there. He's absolutely a hit or miss guy with I mean, right, Sixth Sense is what it is, but like Unbreakable, I think is great. I
That's
actually like
true. That's probably the good
the
one.
whole trilogy. I
Hmm.
love
Yeah,
Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
that's
I think
probably
it's a
the best
great
work.
storyline. Um, the
What about
Village,
Old?
all right. Old was interesting, but it wasn't good. Like it's
He has
like
a lot of
I'm gonna keep
concepts.
watching. Yes, like okay, things are happening, so it keeps you involved. Like it keeps you engaged. It's not a movie you're gonna turn off. So that in itself in 2025 is a good quality. Like I want to keep watching. I don't know if I'm enjoying what I'm watching, but I definitely do want to keep watching. And yeah, there's definitely parts where you're like, all right, well, all right, but that's what you're signing up for sometimes with him. Um, and trying to think of like Devil again, kind of hack, but entertaining. Like of all these people caught on an elevator, and the devil is one of the people on the
I don't
elevator,
know
and
this.
it's like
All right, I don't know
it's a
that one.
very confined who done it. I think it was
Hmm.
2010. I'm fairly certain I saw it in the theaters in 2010. Again, is it gonna be in your top 20 movies of all time? Absolutely not. But I'm glad I watched it and I was entertained, and I think I even rewatched it. Um, so I definitely don't. I'm not Shyamalan-averse because I think The Unbreakable and Signs. Yeah,
You're in the
I
Shyamalan-averse.
I am. I'm in the. I am. Oh, nice. I'm in the Shyamalan
Yes.
Iverse, but I'm not Shyamalan adverse.
Hmm.
Um. So yeah, I mean, Josh Hartnett though. What an interesting name to
You
hear
read
in
my mind.
2025.
Nice to see him in another vehicle. You know
Right.
what?
Hello,
He was
Josh Hartnett.
losing in the great,
We haven't seen you in
yeah,
a
the great
long, long
Josh.
time. I feel.
No, he for a while he was leading the great Josh Hartnett James Marsden battle that I had in my head, and James Marsden's been pulling out ahead for the last few years with Sonic and Jury
Late
Duty
push.
and all
Yeah.
these. He's been out there, and Josh Hartnett was nowhere. So it's
I
good.
feel
It's
like
good to see him in something.
Josh Hartnett really. Now this sounds sad, but it's like I feel like we started losing Josh Hartnett after the one that he did with Harrison Ford, and I remember hearing that when they did that movie, Harrison Ford and Josh Hartnett did not get along. And I
I can see
always, in the
that.
back of my head, felt like Harrison Ford did this to Josh Hartnett because I feel like he fell off after that. And I'm like, Harrison Ford put him on, like blacklisted him in Hollywood. Like Harrison Ford's got pull, and if Harrison Ford doesn't like you, he'll make your job miserable.
He
So I
doesn't like
can't remember
anybody
what
though.
that movie. That's true. He doesn't. I gotta find out what was it? Hollywood Homicide
Oh
was
my
the
god.
movie in question.
Yeah, I forgot about
Um,
that. Yeah.
but man, Josh
What
Hartnett.
about
I
Lucky
mean,
Number 11?
oh, that's true. That
That
was
get on your
after
radar?
Hollywood Homicide.
Yeah.
What was that? Bruce Willis was in that with him,
Yeah,
right?
something like
Wasn't
that.
Bruce Willis like it? Man, how does Josh Hartnett get all these sweet roles with like older guys that would be
He was a hunk. He
curmudgeons?
was a supposed to be. You know, he was a supposed to
He
be like the
was
next guy. You
40
know.
Days and 40 Nights.
Hmm.
The movie about jerking off, like and
Yeah, that's
and
right.
blue balls.
That's
A
right.
movie
Yeah.
surrounded the movie on topic of blue balls, but is like a Hollywood hit. But but most importantly, he was part of the awesome cast, if you look back on it, of The Faculty. What a hodgepodge of people, but a delightful cast to read in today's world. And you know what? If you're not going to pull it up, I want to pull up The Faculty.
That style holds up for sure. Jon Stewart, right?
Yeah. Jon Stewart's in it. Elijah Wood. Usher was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Selma Hayek, Famke Jensen. Like, all of these, like, people that we knew and don't hear from anymore. Robert Patrick, a.k.a. T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Damn.
Piper Laurie. What a hodgepodge of neat names.
Do you think that is on a streaming service?
Ooh.
See, because it's like, if I saw that on my front page, I would watch it. Because I just haven't thought about it in so long, but I would like 100%.
To. I would say, all right, here's what, and again, there's got to be some reason my brain does this, right? Probably not, but I in my head, if I had to pick a streaming service that I would find it on, I want to say I'd find it on, like, HBO Max.
Okay,
if not
I've looked
that,
it up.
Hulu. It doesn't say, is it on a streaming site?
I would say it's not on a free service.
Okay,
you can rent it on multiple services, or
that
actually, look,
that's not how it works.
If you have Fubo TV for $32.99 a month, you can watch it there for free.
Okay,
so get your friend's Fubo account.
Right, because Fubo, calling it on Fubo is like saying it's on Sling.
What is Fubo? Is that just like
TV or Sling, YouTube
Pluto?
TV?
Or yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, do not confuse Fubo with Tubi. Those are very different services. But
yep, it's on MGM Plus. So get your friend's MGM Plus password.
There it is. That's it.
Yeah.
It's subscribe to just get Amazon Prime and then pay $9.90. So obviously it's something you can get MGM Plus. I'm fairly certain you can at least get a 7-day free trial because it's an add-on service as opposed to its own streaming app.
And then pay for it for the next 3 years until it goes out of business.
That's great. There you go.
Whoa, Pluto TV for free with ads. There you go, Pluto. Always coming up big with the ad supported.
I thought you were making it up. I didn't realize Pluto TV was actually a streaming ad or a streaming.
That's like everybody's parents' favorite thing. Like, it's just cable TV for what?
I thought it was Tubi.
Tubi's like the Amazon thing, isn't it?
Is what?
Pluto just comes with the TV. It's like a second cable service for free, but it has channels like the Star Trek channel and like the Andy Griffith
your dad
channel.
Watches. You're telling us your dad watches Pluto.
It has a lot of history / Aztec / alien channel. Like a lot of those. Perfect. Nazis and all that stuff, you know. I think it has like the Michael Caine channel, probably, you know, one of those. Just all of Michael Caine movies.
History, alien, Nazis. So it's the Indiana Jones channel. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
It's a challenge. I use I don't know if you're into the VPN world, but I use a VPN so that I can access international Netflix versions and such.
You do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a VPN, but I've never tried it with like Netflix actually.
Oh, you don't have to do anything different.
What's your best find? What are you seeing?
You know what? Closest to home, and it's Canada. Canada Netflix is phenomenally different than U.S. Netflix as far as movie catalog goes.
Really?
Canada Netflix. Then it's the UK, and then wild card South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea's probably got a lot of fun stuff.
Got a lot of U.S. stuff, but it has a lot of its own
boy
things.
Bands.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, what have you seen? Like, is it just like regular? Is it blockbuster movies that you can't see here, or is it just
exactly that
explore?
like that? No. It's more. I'm not exploring. I just want when I want to watch something, I want to have it accessible to me. Yeah, no, it's just a lot of like blockbusters. If you want the random blockbusters over like the last 15 years, it's really good. Because they'll have a lot of stuff that just isn't streaming anywhere in the US except maybe like periodically on Netflix or Hulu, but they're ones that get taken off really quick too. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, that's useful. I like it. And best part, no tariffs. No tariffs on that. I can watch it at no cost to me.
You don't get just 65% of the movie.
No, no, the government doesn't take 35% of my movie.
Jeff, do you believe we get to go through like our fifth recession or whatever in
I'm
our
so
lifetime?
excited.
It's
I'm
very,
really,
we're like
really
so good
excited.
at this now. I love seeing my retirement almost disappear completely again and then try to
Yeah.
rebuild it. It's so fun for us.
You know what? I was reminded by the interwebs that we've seen this before, folks, and someone didn't do their actual research, aka watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and because in the opening scenes of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when Ben Stein is the teacher and he's taking the attendance and Ferris isn't there, and it shows the class disinterested, he's talking about the Holly Smoot tariff. He's like, where the
Oh yeah.
government, anyone put a tariff on all goods because they thought it would help the recession, and in fact, it did not, and we sank further into depression. And it's like, ha ha ha. Oh, good. 100 years later, and we're like, we're going to try this again. This will probably work.
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
It's and that
So
guy
yeah.
had money because you could win it. So he had it. He knew about it.
The best was it was like you could win
That was
up to, I think Ben Stein's money was $5,000, and I don't know if
it.
Jimmy
Was
Kimmel
yeah.
and Ben Stein were fronting that
You
bill,
could be smart as
but
fuck and win $5,000. Like that's what you had to do. Yeah.
or you could catch Ben Stiller, Jesus, Ben Stein on a bad day, and you could win even though you don't deserve it. Like that's the best part is you could just, if like there was a pop culture heavy finals, Ben Stein would crumble horribly and people could beat him pretty simply. Like it was actually brilliant of a show because it was, at the end of the day, you had to know some stuff, but that was good enough to possibly win because you could just catch him on categories he didn't know. Much like that show was basically like a non-sports version of Stump the Schwab. So I miss game shows where you were literally playing just against a human and you just had to know more than that one guy on the show.
Yeah, it's more like a radio show that turned into a TV show. Like
Yeah,
just the
exactly.
small pot, like just a little like a one person, that kind of deal.
I like it.
Question for you. When you were up at Oswego, or still in upstate New York, how often would you go to Rochester?
Not often. I would say if I had to put a quantity on it, I would say I probably went two or three times a year. Mostly the reason I would go to Rochester is because that was realistically the closest music venue that would have like bands that
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to see. Water Street Music Hall, when it existed in downtown Rochester, was really our best venue because that was at a time that Syracuse, Lost Horizon, had stopped getting decent bands and stuff, or they went too deep into the metal market where I didn't know the bands that were going there. So like Syracuse really didn't even have any solid venue that bands would stop at on tours. Rochester could still get a lot of punk and ska bands and stuff. So I would say that was the main reason I went to Rochester. And then every once in a while you go because a friend's like, oh, I got to go home for something. Do you want to come with me? And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Sure, why not? I'll go to Rochester for no reason. But why do you ask, Matt? That's a very particular question.
Well, I have just taken my first journey there probably since I was a little kid, I guess. And I don't even know why I would have gone there as a kid
Oh,
except for like hockey tournaments or something. Well, I
Seabreeze
guess
maybe?
I've been there a couple times for like day meetings. Oh yeah, Seabreeze. Duh. Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Seabreeze. That's the wrong jingle.
Nope, that's Everyone
but
Loves
nobody knows.
Marineland. You are mixing.
Nobody
You are
knows.
making up the tune. That was Marineland in Canada, but you
Yeah.
just put Seabreeze in there. So, but please go on.
I mean, I've been there for a couple day trips, but that's like getting on the van in Syracuse to go with the other Wegmans people, and you just go to the corporate and then you come home. But this was like an overnight trip because it was a 2 day, like my position, like a training thing. So I was like, cool. Like, it's not. I want to explore a little bit. Like, to me, Rochester seems like it could be a cool city because it's not a gigantic city. I mean, I hear a lot of things that it has crime and stuff, but whatever. So does every town, really. But I was looking forward to it because in the Northeast, it might be the greatest pinball city, or one of the best, because they have the Rochester Pinball Collective, which I've seen hosts tournaments. They have like dozens of machines, and it's $20 gets you in for all the play you can have, which is a great deal. That's what you want, just and it turns out they are not open on Tuesday nights. I was like, oh
no.
And then I got a recommendation from somebody else at work. There's a place called like Spillburger or something. It's like an arcade / pinball arcade as well that has like great bar food and drinks, and they have like 17 pinball tables. So I was like, score. That's all I need. I'm fine with that.
That works.
Closed on a Tuesday. Like, I was like, holy shit, did I just drive an hour and 15 minutes to just be back in Auburn where I can't do anything?
Right.
And then they have something called the Strong Museum of Play. So it's like the museum of the history of toys, games, like they have the video game or Hall of Fame. But they also have like 30-something pinball tables. And they close at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. So I didn't get to go to there. And so I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I did end up finding on my pinball map a place that had 4 pinball tables in it. And it was Three Heads Brewery or Brewing. I've seen some of their cans around town. Like, I think for New York, they have a pretty decent reach. But I went there to their tap room, and they had 4 tables, but they were pretty cool tables. They had Godzilla, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Munsters, and, excitingly enough, Metallica. So the Metallica table that came out like 10 years ago or a little over, they upgraded it in this last year. So now it's like a premium version. So they got away from like the dot matrix screen to now it's like a full video screen, and it shows them whatever song you pick. It has updated track listings, but it shows them like live playing it all. And it has a few changes to the playboard, but it was very awesome. So I'm glad I got to go play it. And now I'm thinking, is it worth taking out a personal loan of $13,000 to have one in my place? I'm thinking about it. I won't do that, but
Dude,
it's in my brain space. So.
It is amazing how expensive a pinball machine is. Like, that is, because I've looked into it as well. And I'm like, wow. Because I think I think what it was is I think I even looked up like used pinball machines, and it's like, so wait, how is a used pinball machine like $6,000, $7,000? And then you look at like what a costly pinball machine is, like, oh, my brain was telling me a pinball machine's probably like $1,000 or $1,500. I'm like, I am not in tune with the cost of pinball.
That's what's wild is like, because I've always, my dream is to own a pinball arcade, and it's like just to start one with like 20 pinball machines and to open up a place and rent, it would cost me like $500,000 to like start it.
To open up a pinball hall.
And 75 cents at a time, I'm going to start recouping that. It's just,
You bet.
Plus the maintenance of it all, and who knows? I mean, there is a model to do it. But anyways, it's kind of a cool town. After that, I went to. It's cool. Like when you drive around the city, like every neighborhood has like a few what seem like cool eateries, some kind of like park or museum or event center, and then like a brewery or some kind of. I mean, they're not all open on Tuesday, but they seem to have a lot of amenities for a little city. And I just Google mapped like food, and I went to the one that had 4.8 stars. It was called Panini Teca. So it's a very cool name. They do paninis, but in a disco style. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I just did pickup, but I got a chicken parm sub. And it was fucking awesome. Or chicken parm panini. I mean, delicious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool town. So I think I have to like plan like a weekend trip there at some point like go and hit up the actual pinball things, then go to hang out at a brewery or something like that. But I was, for one day on a Tuesday, I'm interested. My beak is wet. I don't know if that's the right phrase of it.
Huh.
But I did not have a garbage plate either, which I know is a
Well,
thing.
that's depressing.
And I was like, I forgot that was like a thing until the next day somebody mentioned that they got one. And also some of the people, I was like, oh, what'd you do last night? Someone was like, oh, I just ordered food into my room. I was like, okay. Didn't like, I don't know. It's weird to like go to a place and just go to the hotel after.
Right. I want to feel as
there.
not out of town as possible.
Yeah. So I was like, okay.
It's tough though. I mean, yeah, traveling with stuff like that is always weird. It's because I get it to a certain extent, but it's tough because it's like, some people might see it as like that's. I'll put it this way. I'll give people the benefit out because like maybe their home lives are so busy and they have kids and stuff, and so they're like, dude, do you understand what being away for a night in a hotel room with nothing but silence and like
they got free Max on the TV,
a meal and TV to myself, like like people,
True.
You got to respect that some people are like, that's a phenomenal day off for me. Like, I'm going to take my shitty kids to Strong Museum of Play next week for the 14th time this year. And you want to know what, Matt? I'm good with just a night in my hotel. But yeah, I get it. And I mean, other people probably hear you. Other people probably hear you go like, yeah, guys, I explored downtown Rochester. What an adventure. And they're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about, nerd? They're like, this place is like so stabby in a shithole. Why are you doing this? It is.
It's also coming from the guy that got into bed after work yesterday, so I guess I can make some room for
these people
empathy
don't know how to
in that
party.
regard.
These people don't know how to party. I'm watching Trap in bed at 6 p.m. on a Saturday. So yeah, maybe don't be so quick to judge them.
True. Good perspective.
But, you know what? It's weird because, I think I could go to Rochester now, and I don't think Rochester could show me anything that made me think like, oh boy, this place is gross or unsafe. Because I don't know if anyone knows, but Philadelphia isn't exactly the cleanest, safest city in the world. It's like, sure, there's really cool old historic stuff in Center City, like, obviously Independence Hall and around that area. Very, the oldest road in the United States is in like downtown Philly, and I've gone to that cobblestone road and stuff, and there's a lot of neat stuff, but overall, Philadelphia is a bad city with a lot of problems. And as you can imagine, the current economic factors are making the homeless situation substantially bigger. You can't get onto a train in Philadelphia or going into Philadelphia without tripping over at least 3, dehoused people. And most of the train stops in Philadelphia smell like poo-poo and pee-pee because of the poo-poo and pee-pee. I'm not using that term.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, I am not using that term loosely as in it smells bad.
I've seen it.
I'm literally saying pee and poo is what it smells like because you're like, oh, what's that smell? And then you look and you go, oh, it's that. I'm looking
It's that
at
turd on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm smelling. So it's So I don't think Rochester could throw anything at me that I'm like, this is child's play. I've seen this on a way larger scale. You're going to have to do better than that, Rochester, to push me away.
I know. And on the way back, the greatest driving experience anybody can have is the New York State Thruway.
Absolutely.
It's really a pleasure to drive on it and to have 2 lanes and to be behind a tractor trailer going 66, passing one that's going 64, and spending 10 minutes in that line just trying to get past that trailer. And, that eventually, it can also be the most freeing experience because there's points when you have to go from pod A to pod B to the next series of trucks where it's just freedom and you can just cruise, but then you're eventually in your next pod and basically going 65 but feeling like you're standing still. And on the way back, it was raining. It was like lightning. It was a pretty good rain. So I'm following. I just start complaining in my head about how, okay, great, now we're in this. This truck is pulled over in front of me, and they're going to pass this truck. It's going to take like 12 minutes to pass this truck. And as I'm watching, the truck in the right lane that we're passing, for some reason out of nowhere, like pulls right in front of the truck in front of me. I don't even know how it had room. I don't know how it could have seen it. I'm thinking it must have been like a foot difference. So as soon as he starts pulling in front of the truck to the left that I'm behind, I just start braking. Fortunately, there's not like traffic immediately behind me. It's backed off a little bit. But I backed up a good amount because the truck in front of me then like did like one of these swerves and then like swerved into the right lane around the truck that just got in front of it. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, am I going to die? It's like, is this gonna, like, I thought for a second, like, this is the Russian video cam that you're watching on YouTube where the truck goes full sideways. Right. And then I'm not like, where do I go? I don't know. I was planning like, so definitely I like slowed down, but I was like, I'm probably gonna have to pull off to the side or go to the median because I don't see how these trucks aren't going to like tip or slide. And then sort of like they straighten out and I was like, okay. So now I'm behind the right truck in the right lane. In my head, I guess the left one, the now left one that made the original pass seemed a little bit crazier, a little more methy, I guess. But I could tell the guy in the right lane who just got passed starts speeding up. He's going. And as soon as he has like an inch, he cuts back in front of the truck that cut him off in the left lane. So he starts actually, before that, he starts merging. So now this truck in the left lane is sort of halfway off the road because he sees him pushing over. And then he cuts fully in front of him. And then this guy like does a hard right turn. And I thought he was going to like tumble over. And I was back far enough.
These are, just to clarify, these are two semis?
Two 18-wheeler trucks,
stance?
yeah.
Fucking, yes. I hate people.
And I was like, okay, I hate this. This is the worst.
Good. So it's one thing that one of you,
yeah,
at least one of you is a shitty driver, probably both, and then one is also an aggressive, like, I'll show you driver. Hey, maybe just do the. Listen, let's pretend it's 1974 and Smokey and the Bandit. Just pull over and fight each other. Like, stop being pussies and being passive-aggressive with your driving. That'll kill everyone else. Can't you guys just settle it like men? Pull over and just engage in fisticuffs because you're both bitches anyway. Like, I fucking hate people. Like,
all it's going to do is kill everybody else around.
Exactly. This retaliatory, like, listen, I get cut off by dumb people, but I don't go like, I'll show you and cut you off. No, because I know you're a shitty driver and you won't be able to handle me cutting. Like, just, fuck. You're right, though. And it never used to be as bad as it is with semis. And I'm pretty sure it's because I always used to think like track trailer drivers are great drivers because they're used to driving large vehicles. So I respected the concept that I'm like, you're extra safe. You're very well aware and everything like that because you have to be. Now I feel like it's 24-year-old dingleberries with their hat sideways that have no other job to get. So they get a fucking truck driver job because truck drivers, to my knowledge, still get paid fairly well given the circumstances of what their job requires. This is no indictment on truck drivers, quite the opposite. But I feel like people just I feel like shittier drivers are becoming truck drivers because I'm seeing this piss poor driving from truck drivers more and more often, and it's so frustrating. And you're right. The New York State Thruway's biggest problem is that it's not 3 lanes wide. Because 3 lanes, it happens so far less. The 2 lanes, traffic jams take usually 2 morons that happen to be back to back. And what I mean by that is that you have to have the one jack off who won't leave the left lane. But then that jack off has to be trailed by a also jack off who refuses to pass the first jack off. I get you're not supposed to pass in the right lane. But if some fuckwad won't leave the left lane when there's a gap in the right lane, I'm going around them. But you'll always have the person that refuses to pass that guy. I don't know out of principle or what they're doing or just being like, I'm comfortable also with 66 miles an hour. Like, fuck you. God, I'm getting
Well, it's
angry
real easy.
on
Like
remembering how it is to drive on the New York State
like
Thruway.
what I do, like a regular person, is if I'm going like, let's say I'm going like 75 and I'm 65, which I think is fair. If somebody's going 90 and they're coming behind me in the left lane, I move over to the right, let them go, and then I go back to resuming my pass. That's easy. You have to you just be generally aware
Well,
and try not to die. That's it.
the thing is like, so I think similarly, but I'll word it a different way. What I do is that if I'm going 75, as soon as there's a clearance on the right lane, I'm getting back over. Now,
Right.
even if I see that I'm going faster than traffic that's coming up, I'm going to get right. And then when I happen upon the new traffic, I'll get left. And then I get back right. Yes, I have to change lanes more often, but it's better than me hanging out in the left lane. Because even at 75, like you said, it's like, well, Jeff doesn't get to dictate that 75 is fast enough in the like passing lane. Because right, if a guy wants to go 95, 100 past me, all right, bro, best of luck. I really don't think you should be driving that fast. But who am I to be like, not on my watch? I'm Jeff. I'm gonna muscle you, and I'll stay in the left lane because I think this is what the left lane should max out at. There you go. I haven't heard that drop in a while. So,
Well said. Well said.
yeah, I hate
Well
it.
said. Yeah.
Overall, people shouldn't drive cars.
I did have maybe the best example of a joke that could possibly exist in a corporate setting at this meeting. Let me set the stage for you. It's not like truly funny, but it's work funny. Let me tell you.
Oh, work funny.
So we're in this conference room, and then towards the end of like the second day meetings, the like big bosses come in to do like a little Q&A. So that would be like, he's like the senior VP of human resources. So he's like the bossiest boss of all the HR things in the company. So we're all sitting there having lunch before we do like official introductions. And then I just hear him say, I don't know. I'm looking up and we just make eye contact. I could tell he was sort of like waiting to, and he goes, "So you 6 foot tall yet?" I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like, that's rude. It's like, damn,
Wait,
burn.
what does that even?
It's like,
what?
and well, it took me a second, and I was like, oh, I forgot, because we have these things at Wegmans called our people pages, but it's just like a quick like little thing of like it's sort of like a little work profile of like what foods you like. Do you have any family that works at Wegmans? Like, what are your hobbies? Like things like that. So like people can sort of like look you up and get to know you a little bit. And I forgot because I haven't looked at it in so long that I was like,
Oh, you
that was
did
my
this
way of
to
seeing if people
yourself.
actually read it. So mine says something like, I don't even remember, but it says something like, I'm not 6 foot tall yet. So it's just or something like that, or but I'm working on that, or I will be, or maybe it was like 2 truths and a lie, like I'm not 6 feet tall. Have never been 6 feet tall. I will be 6 feet tall, or something like that. I don't know, something to that effect. So I was like, so it took me like literally like 3 seconds, and I just stared at him, and I was like, oh yeah, and he's like, oh, I saw that. He's like, I thought that was the funniest thing. I had to send it to her, and I was like, oh yeah. So then I was like, well, I wish it worked that well on dating profiles. And it got him. He was like, he just started cracking up, and that was like, it's kind of like the tamest lame joke you can say. I feel like in a corporate setting that can get somebody, because you got to go dry. You got to go not really funny. You just got to go unobjectionable. And so it really landed. And then at the end when he was introducing himself, or he's walking around, he stood up, and he's like 6'5". So everybody's like sitting down as they're shaking a hand, and I stood up, and I was like, almost there. So I had a real connection with the senior VP. So I'm coming for your job. You know your name.
Oh wow, that is
I will
whoever
be.
you are.
I will
I'm
be
coming
6
for
feet.
your
I will be
job.
senior VP. But also I had a joke that didn't land. It's not even worth going into, but in introductions on day one, I made a joke, like an 8 to 5, a joke about how essentially the work isn't just 8 to 5 for us. and it involves nights and things like that. It was sort of the effect of like, oh, I took this job because it's a cushy 8 to 5, and just crickets. And I was like, oh no. It's like, okay,
That's
no more jokes for the rest of the day from me. It's like, I guess they don't know me. But I was like, oh, because it's not that, because we do have to go in at night. So it was the joke. So it's a tale of two cities in this in this event. So I don't know. I don't know what the moral is. But shoot your shot, and if you don't, you pipe down at least for a couple hours. you just wear that one.
See, that's the tough part about working in a corporate world is do you know how many times I've told myself like, you should probably dial back the Jeff sometimes, like so that you can really like have chances of moving up and continued growth and stuff like that, because I want growth. I like developmental aspects in the business place, not even because of the money. It's just again, I like to learn new jobs, new roles and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, so in leadership and stuff, you have to have like your brand management and stuff. But I'm like, I also can't. I'm so bad at not being Jeff. So it's like corporate Jeff. Still, I'll have like not inappropriate stuff, but like weird things or like make jokes. And it's just like, I'm just hoping there's also someone in like leadership that's like has the same sense of humor, because they're out there, right? It's like there's definitely people in high places that are like, yo, if they were being honest and people asked, they're like, all right, what's your favorite show? I want to hear some super senior executive being like, I think you should leave is brilliant or something like that, and just be like, oh, all right. Like, I'm lucky enough, my manager is a huge I think you should leave fan. So like I'll drop GIFs in Microsoft Teams all the time. Half my responses to his serious work emails will be like Tim Robinson GIFs. And it's just too hard.
I'm joking.
You can't cover, like, if you're a person with like finds humor in everything and such, like, you can't cover it up. It's impossible. And if you are, like, you just hate yourself inside. So the reality of it is I'm like, I'm always going to shoot my shot. And I'm sure it has worked against me in the past, but I've come to realize, like, you just got to not give a shit about it. Like, unless it's like actually getting you in trouble, so be it. But shoot your shot, as long as it's not like horribly offensive and stuff. If it's weird, just be weird. Whatever. I'm not going to try to not be weird. So I'm glad your profile made you confused, and that old, like, past you wasn't looking out for future you and how that all might pan out.
Well,
I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, because I think more times than not, like, my personality or sensibilities like work out for me in the workplace. But I'm also, I'm not dropping F-bombs or like being like super crude or crass around the audience, there's people I know that I can be that way with, but I'm not in general public situations doing it. But I'm not like preventing myself from being silly, because I think more people respond to that at a workplace because nobody wants it to be dry and boring. So, I think more times than not, as long as you're not like being hateful or mean or trying to like bring somebody down, but just being silly. And also, like, you got to have like some self-deprecation about it too. I feel like, it can't be like targeted at anybody else, but it makes it more fun.
Oh yeah,
And one of the things, like, and you can see like one of the big things that we use, like, this is a situation where I would look around the room to see like who's on my level, so that we may have talked about, the idea of like the DISC profile, like it kind of like measures your work style and communication and all that, DISC. So you're either a D, an I, an S, or a C, or maybe you're a combination of some of them based on this test that you've done. Anytime we always get somebody who's like, yeah, I'm an I, but I got a little D in me. I always look around the room.
That's why you use colors. That's why you say the color. You don't use the letter.
But some people say it, and they don't say it ironically. They just say it.
I know.
And then I look around, and I go, anybody with me? Anybody? There's got to be somebody here that's smirking. Somebody that's covering their mouth. Anybody like that?
100%. Yeah. I would do the exact same thing if I was in a live like setting That's the problem is that mine is virtual. So you have to send that side Teams message to someone and be like, tell me you just heard that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, absolutely. If you're in a room, you're just like, someone else is appreciating what just got said.
Yeah. It's like, I used to be an S, but now I'm a strong D. I'm like, oh God, let's go. Let's go. Absolutely. Work is awesome right now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So back to the what I was discussing before the theme song, and then we totally didn't revisit after the theme song.
Yeah.
I woke up to find out that, albeit I last checked at that Duke was winning the Final Four basketball game against Houston by 10 with 8 minutes to play. Wake up to find that Houston won by 3. That is what I needed.
I experienced the same thing.
That is what I needed. I won one of my brackets already, despite the fact that the finals haven't been played. I won a cool $40 amongst 4 other friends that wanted to just throw $10 into a pool. So I won that one already, despite the fact that the national championship game hasn't played, because I was the only person left with a champion, and that Houston win got me the most points. So championship is moot for that. But then in the one where I'm in almost 100 people, I am now in 38th place. As you can imagine, that does not pay. However, if Houston should win the championship game, I will get 6th place. Now the best part about that is that my buddy who runs it broke down the payouts, and I think it's the top 10 gets paid. And the percentages said clearly, I haven't talked to him about this, but I know who he is, and the payments percentages were that 6th place is supposed to pay $70 based on percentages. However, because of who he is as a person, although that we are in our 40s, he decided to tweak the percentages a little and add $1 to first place, making first place $901, and took $1 away from 6th place to make it $69 payout. And you want to know what?
Very nice.
Just to be inappropriate, I could tell that when he crunched the numbers and he was like, 70, I just can't do it. It's going to be 69. So if Houston wins, I'll win another $69, and I will have somehow profited from the NCAA tournament, which in truest of forms is the year that I've probably watched the least amount of college basketball in my entire life. So most appropriate that's when you would win money, is just shooting your shot on stuff you have no idea about. So another thing, though, is I couldn't watch the first game because I was at a sporting event. And Matthew, I have engaged now in a new sporting event live of a
indoor
league
lacrosse.
A league I had never gone to a game before. And I actually have been to an indoor lacrosse game. I've been to Bandits games as well as a Blazer game. The MLS, Major League Soccer. I have now seen a Major League Soccer game live. I went to a Philadelphia Union game last night. And it is speaking of Philadelphia, it is in Chester, Pennsylvania, south of South Philadelphia, about 10
Is that
10
east
miles
of Westchester?
Yeah, right. It is actually east of Westchester, technically. But the best part is if you're folks, if you're one of those people that are like, I can't watch soccer, it's so boring. Well, I'll tell you, nothing gets my blood going like the roar of a crowd in a final of 0-0 in a soccer game. Because the best is I still have something to shoot for. So I've been to my first MLS game, but I can't wait because I still have my first live MLS goal to see. So I'm really excited because it's only going up from here, folks. I got to see a 0-0 draw.
I didn't do fucking shit.
It was.
Dude, they don't even do a kickoff or a fucking penalty case to decide
not in regular season. Not in regular season.
That's bullshit.
Take draws. Yeah, there's not even like extra time. I mean, there's extra time obviously from the 90 minutes,
Like injury
but
time.
there's no. Yeah, exactly, injury time, stoppage time, but there's no like 15-minute extra time or anything. Like, nope, it's just like, all right, well, that was a game. Like, oh boy, so that's really funny. But you know what's nuts is I didn't realize that American soccer did this, but there is a player, I believe he's a midfielder, on the Philadelphia Union who is 15 years old. He was born in 2009.
I remember
That
Freddie
is
Adu back in the day.
absurd. Kevin Sullivan. This kid is 15 years old. He has already signed a pre-transfer agreement with Manchester City, and he's currently playing for the Philadelphia Union.
You guys are going to lose him?
Yeah. But that's fucking bonkers, dude. Like, I don't even understand. I don't even understand what any of that means.
Does
like,
he have his work permit?
Right. Did he? Yeah. Did he? like what? How? He made his Major League Soccer debut for Philadelphia Union last year at 14 years, 293 days old. He was playing soccer against men in their 30s. A 14-year-old was on the field and could get slide tackled by a man with a 14-year-old. Like, he might be in school with one of these players' kids. Or actually, he could get bullied at school by one of these players' kids. Like, none of this makes sense to me. Like, how does soccer get to do that? Yeah, he's from Philadelphia.
Oh, he's from
Philadelphia. Okay. So, like, so my proposition is, NBA, let's stop doing this, like, one and done shit. And football, you have to play, like, 3 years in college. No. You know what? This is what soccer's doing right. Let's put these fucking child prodigies in the majors sooner. That's the hot take. I don't want to see, like, 18-year-old, like, what if we had Conor McGregor skating around? Because everyone knew he was going to be a menace. At 14, Conor McGregor could have played in the NHL. I want to see it. I want to see Conor McGregor go up against...
McDavid, I know what you're saying. I was like,
I
didn't know Conor McGregor skated too.
Connor McDavid, son of a bitch. And I want to see him get checked by, like, John Scott and just get, like, blasted. Like, think about it. Football. You get to see a kid in high school trying to play quarterback and it just gets pummeled by a linebacker. Like, what joy would that bring to the sick American? Like, it's America 2025, folks. It's the Wild West. Let's stop acting like it's not. So let's put more children in major league sports. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thought on that?
I have a tweak to it based on some experience, but I do like it in general. I would love to see maybe a bookended league where it's teens and, like, 40-somethings. So you've got, like, the teens
no one in
who
the middle.
aren't really experienced, but maybe are developing their athleticism. They have all the TikTok moves, and the 40-year-olds who don't have their athleticism really anymore, but they got the experience, you know, a little bit more of the gamesmanship, the teamwork, that kind of thing, and put them in a league. So that's sort of like what men's hockey is. Like, if you play on a Wednesday night hockey like I did last year, was like whatever high school kids were still there after their practice would hang out and play with the old guys. And so they're all like, they got all endurance. They're like stick hand all over. But once in a while, like, if they're getting a little too, like, try hard, one of the guys will give him a little push, you know, just like, or hold him against the boards or something like that, or like do something there's no ref, so maybe like trip him or something like that, throw a stick at him, like, just to, like, you know, to like mellow him out a little bit. It's like, hey, bring it down a peg or two, all right? Know where you are. It's like, we could crush you at any time, so just be mindful of that. We'll let you play. Just remember, it's a team. It's not just you. And that's how they learn that. They learn that it's a team game. You know, they're not the center of the universe. But then, you know, it's nice when you're the old guy and you can still throw out a crispy pass and send it to like some 17-year-old that's got the moves and can score, and you get that
Right?
plus
You're like,
one, you
that's
get
an
the assist.
That's an
Yeah,
assist right there.
yeah.
I did that.
So, but I could see it working a lot, like basketball. That'd be fun. Some of the high school stars that are dunking on TikTok, but some of these old guys, like the old Y dudes that wouldn't put up with their shit, any of that, like would body up on them. I think there's a world for that. So I don't know what you would call it, but why not? I'm okay with it. I remember that Freddie Adu came out like 10 years ago or whatever, supposed to be a stud for America, and then wasn't really. But I saw him. I think he was in D.C. Hey, when you were there yesterday, did anybody chant "I believe that we will win"?
No one chanted "I believe that we will win," which was really important to me because now we were at the one end of the field, and at the opposite end, the waterfront end, is where clearly like the rowdy, like American hooligan section is, where there's two guys beating drums basically the entire game, and the crowd over there is chanting for 85% of the game. But none of them were "I believe that we will win." But I'm not going to lie. Like, that's it. On TV, it's kind of like, this is kind of obnoxious or whatever. Actually, at least it's not Vuvuzuela's.
Yeah, oh my God.
The chanting section is actually pretty rad. Like, I'm like, it was chanting the entire game. And folks, remember, this is a 0-0 game, so there was nothing really positive to chant about. There was a lot of aggression towards the refs, which I also enjoy because it's vocal, but it's group vocals. Like, people be like "F you ref, F you ref." Like, people, like the crowd is going bananas on these refs for making poor calls or non-calls mostly. Not even being huge into soccer as a viewer. There was blatant calls that even someone not privy to soccer would understand, and being like, how is that not like a yellow card of some sort, or at least a penalty? So it was pretty crazy. But like, anytime there was a substitution on Orlando City, the announcer has to be like, and substitution for number blah 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 blah, and they would say the name, and then everyone just goes, "Sucks." And so anytime a person's name from the other team is mentioned, people are chanting "sucks." So like, it is a fun live environment. I definitely am going to go again. I'm looking forward to it, but no one believed that they will win. I think they want to be more aggressive with their chanting than I believe. It'd be nice if we could win. We would really appreciate it. Like, oh, what a dumb chant.
I believe that we might score.
Right. Maybe not.
I am today wearing a Boston Bruins jersey. I didn't wake up like this. I didn't wake up a captain of the Bruins. I had to earn this.
It took a long time to earn that seat.
The pro shop. For a couple reasons. Number one, the Bruins are on the all-timeiest of tank jobs right now. Just really, really going for it. In fact, today they are playing your Buffalo Sabres, and the Sabres are favored, minus 175. Can't think of the last time they would have been favored that much against the Bruins. Yeah.
I did not see that line. I did know they were playing, but I did not see that they are favored.
We are tanking hard for at least a top 3 pick. We're going to have a decent chance to win the lottery. I mean, not a great, but, we're going to have a chance to win the lottery, the draft lottery. So very exciting. We just signed a couple of the college kids who just finished up the Frozen Four, a Cornell kid, a BC kid. So we're making some moves. Also, it's a very exciting day in hockey. Awkward timing. It's a 12:30 game, but Ovi has a chance to break the record today against the New York Islanders.
He does.
So maybe we need to sprinkle some dollars on that. Sprinkle some. I don't know why it feels weird to like score the all-time winningest goal in a Sunday afternoon game. But hey, what else is there to do today? I'm in for it. That'll be exciting.
And
Playoffs
for those of us that, for people that aren't paying attention, he has one goal to get the all-time goal scoring record taken from Wayne Gretzky, and he's only like 1,300 assists away from taking Gretzky's all-time assist record. So that's also something to really keep an eye on, because I'm sure that's his next goal after getting the goal-scoring one. I'm pretty sure he's going to shoot a shot at the assist one, and
That
only
still is the
1,300
best
away.
stat that there is. Gretzky has more assists than any other player has points total.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
but Gretzky's been tailing along. I do appreciate Ovi's move to sit on the bench during the open net the other night. He didn't want to break the record on an open net. Respect. But yeah, no, I'm excited for that. The playoffs, even though the Bruins won't be in it. But also, picking up from last week's conversation about dipping a toe into the trading card world, the sports trading.
Oh, yeah.
Producer Steve did listen and showed me a picture of a Connor McDavid signed card with like pieces of jersey in it or one of those. And I was like, holy fuck, how'd you get that? And he's like, I traded for it. There's a card shop in town that I didn't really know about. It's in the Auburn Plaza. It's called like the Hot Corner or something like that.
Okay.
So I went there this week and
nice.
I kind of went, I was like, if I'm going to get into this hobby, I better get into it. So I did pick up like, oh wait, that's the wrong thing.
Yep.
I did pick up a bunch of cards for 50 cents or like $3. So I got a bunch of like just players I like, some Bruins, but then some players like, I feel like I got some cards. I got an old Patrick Waugh, old Dominic Hasek, some players that I think are solid. Just sharing them here in the video. And I think I had a good, so the guy that owns the store, like, claims to like not watch sports at all and doesn't know anything about sports, but like clearly he knows about looking up cards and stuff like that. But a lot of the cards I bought for 50 cents and $3 each, I've had good guesses on because they're worth more than what I bought for them. But sometimes they're worth like $1, $1.50, $2. So I'm like, how do you sell a card on the internet for $1 or $2? Is there a way to do that? And is it worth doing that, or do I just collect them? I mean, obviously I want to strike on something and get something good, but do I want to sell them? And I think I was reading, how do you get into the hobby? And the first piece of advice is just be into it because you like it, or just get cards that you want to get because you like it. And I'm like, that's a good idea. That way I'm not like, you don't want to approach it like you're gambling or it's a business. So I don't know how it's going to go, but if you saw in that picture, so here's the stat. I mean, it's like 40 something dollars, like different cards.
Okay.
It's a real nice hand there. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. We're still working it out. But I did purchase 3 packs. Ooh. Of Upper Deck Series 2, 24, 25 NHL cards. I thought maybe I'd open one here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe try to strike on one. Maybe 2. But these are, I don't know what it means, Series 2, but you're looking for one of one Young Guns cards, I guess. That's the big thing.
Okay.
And I guess in this year, a big thing would get to like a Macklin Celebrini. He's a big rookie. Leo Carlson, I don't know. But we're going to open it up maybe and see if we get to retire tomorrow. But it's cool. I guess these would be like, if you bought a box of 12, they're like $150. And I was just talking to the guy, and as I was walking out, I saw these. There's 3 packs. He's like, "Oh, if you want to buy all 3, I'll give you like 15% off." And I was like, "Yeah, okay. I don't know." It's like, so I'll get it, because that's ultimately what you want to do is open packs of cards. That's what it's all about. And I can feel the gum. It's Big League Chew. I can feel it in here. I hope the cards are okay.
That would be weird to put Big League Chew like scrapings in a pack of cards.
But I don't know how to. I don't want to. I don't have gloves. I'm not. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna do a top.
Hope
a
your
top
hands
tear.
aren't that oily.
Yeah. Ooh, the sound.
Wow.
Everybody likes the sound of a nice little foil opening. Oh, I ripped him. All right.
Oh God, they're all over the place.
This is very exciting because most people don't know hockey players either. So there's 12 cards.
Right. That's the important part.
Okay. The Canadians, Kirby Dach. He's a good young player. He's got some promise. A Kings player, Alex Turcotte. Nicholas Bugstad of the now of the now Utah Hockey Club, still in his Coyotes uniform. Ette Luosterainen, classic. For everybody, household name.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. A Bruin, a Boston Bruin, Hampus Lindholm. We like that. See, that's just good for the collection. We want players we like. Ooh, we might like this. On a Heater, it's called, a special edition. Wyatt Johnson, the third-year player from the Dallas Stars, who this week scored 7 games in a row and was the hottest goal scorer in the league. Ooh, we like that. See that one we'll put in a sleeve.
Oddly enough, he's on a heater.
He's on a
How
heater.
Appropriate.
Here's a Young Guns, Nolan Allen. We don't know him, but we believe that he will win.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay. Zach Hyman of the Oilers. Electric City.
It's got like a chrome or like a polychrome oil spill look to it, folks.
That's cool. Got some more regulars. Logan O'Connor, goalie Semyon Varlamov from the Islanders. Pontus Holmberg, everybody's favorite third-year Leaf. Ooh, and a blast from the past. Dallas Stars. Tyler Seguin, the Boston Bruins Stanley Cup winning forward. Let's go. That's fun. All right, so you know what? I do it. That's fun. Now I got 2 more of those to do. Yeah. Dude, I could get into that. It's so fun. It's so dumb. Like, I wish they weren't like $12 a pack. I mean, I really should just start buying bulk. That's what I want.
Absolutely.
Really want to do.
I mean, right? That's the advantage. You got to go for the real money saver. So buy as much as you can at high quantities.
Yeah, I really want to get like a few $100s into the hobby, and then I can, make back $217 when I resell them all.
Right. Absolutely. That's the goal.
Well, that's all I got. I will be betting on Alex Ovechkin to score today, so we'll see. I'd love to win money on that moment, So when we watch it in the future times, I can say, "Hey, I won $7 that day," and here it is.
Massive W. Do you know what the odds are for?
No, I don't. But because it's such a public favorite, probably people are going to want it. It's probably going to be normally like Alex to score in a game would probably be like minus 120 a goal.
You think it's going to be like minus 250 or minus?
I think it's going to be over like 200, which is crazy.
Yeah, because
that's not the true odds. So smartly, I should bet for him not to score, but
right. Because that's all it is bets are theoretically the odds of it happening, but you forget that the people taking the bets are in a business. So what they're doing is it matters where the money is going.
Oh, it is minus 120. Okay. So.
Oh, wow. All right.
That's
well,
fair.
Matt's projection meant absolutely dog shit. So good, folks. Definitely this is where you go for the betting tips. Matt's really in tune. we are really good on this betting world. We know what we're talking about. So definitely
here's a hot take for sports, but it's at the Islanders, so he'll probably wait to do it when he's home.
To do it at home.
You know how players never like to score or win it, like the cup away. They always want to win it at home, so they don't play as hard when they're on the road.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always a thing.
Word.
Anywho,
all right. Well,
everybody get rich, stay rich.